Hey everyone, welcome back to Sacred Cards and happy holidays to you all. Today I'm here to share with you an update to my Dinosaur deck profile. Dinos are one of my favorite archetypes. I've been playing them for many years now and I'm constantly trying to innovate and work with how the deck functions. For this build, I've decided to go with more of a Ghost Second variant. It does what dinos do best, and I'm taking advantage of the new Ground Xeno cards as they bring so much resilience and consistency. I think it's the best way to play the deck as it's so good at breaking boards and literally stomping over your opponent. You can change it to a go first build by swapping out a few cards, and you will see what those cards are as I go through the list. I'm playing one spicy tech package that, thanks to some brand new cards from possibly my favorite set ever, Age of Overlord. Also, please be sure to check out the other deck profiles and content on my channel. We're continuing to grow and I really appreciate all the support and love for the channel, so subscribe and get notified to stay tuned for more content. So with all that said, I'll go through my deck list and try and explain the cards as best I can. Let's get into this Dino deck profile. Starting things off with the big dinos, I play two copies of everybody's favorite Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. This monster must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing two dinos in your graveyard. During either player's main phase, quick effect, you can destroy a monster in your hand or field to change all monsters your opponent controls to face down defense position. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each, and at the start of the damage step, if it attacks a monster in defense position, inflict 1,000 damage, then send that monster to the graveyard. So two copies of UCT. Next, I play one copy of Dino Wrestler Pankratops and one copy of Doggeron, the Mad Flame Kaiju. These are great cards for the deck, especially when going second. With Pank, if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, special summon this card from your hand, and it has the quick effect that you can attribute itself to target a card on the field, destroy it. Doggeron is the Dino Kaiju, which is great for attributing off problem monsters on your opponent's side of the field, like Negate or something like that, to let you build your board and OTK your opponent. It's also searchable with your copies of T-Pteranodon, so it's really nice, giving you easy access should you need it for interruption. Now for the deck's main starter, I play three copies of Soul Eating Oviraptor. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can take a dino from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. You can also target a level 4 or lower dino on the field, destroy it, then special summon a dino from grave in defense position. Next, I play one copy of Miscellaneousaurus and one copy of Giant Rex. Have you read Misk? It has the effect that during the main phase, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard to make your dino monsters unaffected by the activated effects of your opponent this turn. Then you can banish any number of dino monsters from your graveyard and special summon a dino monster from the deck with a level equal to or lower than the number you banished. Giant Rex has the effect that if it is banished, special summon this card and it gains 200 attack for each of your banished dino monsters. Just a free resource, so why not? Makes sense to play it. You do a lot of banishing in this deck, so. Next for the babies, I play three copies of Baby Ceratosaurus. I love these OTS supers. If this card is destroyed by card effect, you can special summon a level 4 or lower dino from the deck. Next is two copies of Petit Pteranodon and one copy of Animador and Archosaur. For Petrie, has the ability, if this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon a level 4 or higher dino from the deck, but it can't attack this turn, but that's fine, helps you combo off anyway. Animador and Archosaur is a card I used to play more of, but I think you really only need one copy. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can destroy a dino in your hand or on the field and add an evolution pill spell from your deck to your hand. So that is it for the baby lineup. Now for extenders, I like to play three copies of Xenometeorus. I'm really trying to maximize on the Ground Xeno package, and this card is just incredible. This level 6 tuner monster has the effect that if a card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. During the main phase, you can destroy a dino in your hand or field to special summon a dino normal monster from your hand or deck. Good for making your synchro plays or XC's plays. More of the new support is 2 copies of Trancenosaurus Meteorus. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can destroy 2 dinos in your hand or field, giving them their effects. Special summon this card from your hand, and if this card is special summoned, you can send 1 dino from your deck to the graveyard. Also, if this card is destroyed, you can shuffle 1 dino normal monster from your graveyard back into the deck, then special summon this card. I don't mind playing 2 because you can always banish 1, and if you end up seeing 2 in hand, you can always destroy 1 with its own effect, so never really hurts. And then the last of the dinos is 2 normal monsters in 1 copy of Frostosaurus and 1 copy of Megalo Smasher X. These cards pair very well with the new support from Wild Survivors, including your copies of Ground Xeno as well as Lost World. I really like having the utility of playing a level 6 and a level 4, and since we are maximizing on the Ground Xeno package, I think it makes sense to play 2 copies. This way you always have some in circulation. Now for my spicy tech choice that I'm surprised more Dino players haven't tried out yet is 2 copies of Darkhold Dragon. Now, hear me out here. This is a new card from Age of Overlord that I think fits perfectly as a non-Dino option for this deck, especially in a Go Second variant. Darkhold Dragon can't be destroyed by card effects. If any monsters on the field are destroyed by a card effect that doesn't target it, you can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. Also, if this card is special summoned, then during the end phase, you can add a copy of Darkhold from your deck to your hand. I do like having 2 copies because you'll always have 1 in circulation and you can banish 1 with your double evolution pill, being a non-dino. Just a really strong, powerful card. Clear the board and then you get a free 3000 beater from your hand or graveyard, so really makes sense. Next, for some more non-dinos, I'm playing a few hand traps in 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. This is just a great generic hand trap, really good for interrupting your opponent's plays and negating their searches. 3 copies of Ash. And I'm choosing to main deck 3 copies of Nibiru. I think this is a great choice for the deck because this deck has no problem running over your opponent's monsters, but it can sometimes have a hard time against combo decks setting up multiple negates. So I think Nibiru fits perfectly in this deck. Plus, it's the rock that took out the dinosaurs, so it fits the theme. If your opponent has summoned 5 or more monsters this turn, quick effect, tribute all monsters on the field, special summon this card from your hand, and give your opponent a token that becomes the combined attack and defense of all tributed monsters. Well, that is it for the monsters. Now on to the spells. For your main search, I play 3 copies of Fossil Dig. This absolutely beautiful quarter-century secret rare card lets you add any level 6 or lower dino monster from your deck to your hand. It helps you search the cards you need, and the shine makes my dinos very happy. It's nice to see dinos getting some love in the rarity collection. Next up is 3 copies of the brand new spell card, Ground Xeno. I absolutely love this card and what it does for the deck. It allows you to play more of a pure version of the deck, and I really appreciate that. Plus, I was really sick of the scrap package. This card lets you add 1 Dino Tuner or Dino Normal monster from your deck to your hand, then destroy a card in your hand. It also lets you banish this card from your graveyard to fusion summon a Dino from the extra deck, giving you access to your big Dino fusion monster. Now for the last of the Dino spells, I play 2 copies of Double Evolution Pill and just a single copy of Lost World. With Double Evolution Pill, you can banish 1 Dino and 1 non-Dino monster from your hand and or graveyard, special summon a level 7 or higher Dino monster from your deck, regardless of its summoning conditions. 2 copies is perfect in my opinion, no more, no less. Lost World I think is fine at 1. I really do like this card, but I had to cut it down for some of the other cards I'm playing. All monsters on the field lose 500 attack and defense except for dinos. If a dino is normal or special summoned, you can give your opponent a Jura Egg token, and they can't target any other monsters except that token while they control it. Also, if a normal monster is destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can destroy a dino in your deck instead. Good for triggering off your baby's effects. Now for some interruption spells, I play 3 copies of Darkhole. This card will destroy all monsters on the field to clear the board and can trigger your dino's destruction effects. Plus, in combination with your copies of Darkhole Dragon, I think it's absolutely perfect by clearing the field and letting you combo off and swarm the field with some very powerful cards. Good for helping OTK your opponent. So 3 copies of Darkhole. And for the last cards in the main deck, I play 2 copies of Lightning Storm and 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster. Lightning Storm is a really good going second card for if you control no face-up cards. You can either destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls or destroy all spell traps they control, so whichever is more of a threat. Feather Duster is another way to clear your opponent's spells and traps. This deck can sometimes have a hard time dealing with back row, so this helps get them out of the way so you can build your board and OTK your opponent. Well, that is it for the main deck. Now moving on to the extra deck. I'm really happy with this extra deck as it gives me all different kinds of options for whatever situation I find myself in. Starting off with the new boss monster, 2 copies of Trancenosaurus Gigantozauer. I like 2 copies because it has come up where I can go into this card twice, especially because I play a large ground Xeno package in this deck. When this fusion monster is special summoned, you can target 1 dino in the graveyard, add it back to your hand. Then if this card was special summoned from the graveyard, you can destroy 2 cards. One from your hand or field, and 1 card your opponent controls. If this card is destroyed, shuffle back a normal monster in the graveyard into the deck, then special summon this card. Very powerful, and another reason I like playing 2 normal dinos in the main deck instead of just the 1 level 6 like most people. Not that there's anything wrong with that. This is just my personal preference. Build your deck the way you like and do what makes you happy. Love it or leave it. Now, starting off with my Xyz monsters, I play a few rank 6s in 1 copy of Trancenosaurus Drillignathus, 1 copy of Evolzar Lars, and 1 copy of Evolzar Solda. Drillignathus has the effect that when it battles a monster and this card has no materials, any damage it inflicts is doubled. You can detach a material, special summon 1 of your banished monsters. Also, if this card is destroyed, you can shuffle back a normal monster from your graveyard into the deck, special summon this card. Lars has the ability that while it has material, your opponent can't target it with card effects. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can detach a material, target a card on the field, and negate its effects for that turn. Doesn't necessarily have to be the card that was activated. Solda also can't be destroyed by card effects while it has material, and it has the ability that when your opponent special summons a monster or monsters, detach a material and destroy them. Next up, I play 3 rank 4 monsters in 1 copy of Evolzar Logia, 1 copy of Evolzar Dolka, and 1 copy of Grenosaurus Gigacannon. Logia, when a monster would be normal or special summoned or spell trap card is activated, quick effect, detach 2 materials, negate it. Dolka, when another monster effect is activated, quick effect, you can detach a material to negate and destroy that monster. This effect is also not once per turn. Giga Cannon, I actually really like this card. It has the effect that when your dinosaur monster destroys a monster by battle, you can detach a material, inflict 1,000 damage, then this card gains 1,000 attack. If this card is destroyed, you can target a card on the field, destroy it, then inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. Next, I play 3 synchro monsters in 1 copy of Trancenosaurus Glaciosaurus, 1 copy of Baron de Fleur, and 1 copy of Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign Changing. Glaciosaurus can't be destroyed by battle, and Dino special summoned from the graveyard can't be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Also, if this card is destroyed, you can special summon this card by shuffling back a normal monster from your graveyard into the deck. So provides protection, and 3600 attack is absolutely huge. Baron can target a card on the field to destroy it. It can also quick effect negate the activation of a card or effect and destroy it. Plus, during the standby phase, if you want, you can target a level 9 or lower monster in the graveyard, return this card to the extra deck, then special summon that card. Really good option for going first as well. Changing gains 100 attack and defense for each banished card, and monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack and defense for each one. If this card would be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish a card from your graveyard instead. Also, if a card is banished, you can banish a card from their field and one from their graveyard. Starting off the Link monsters, and the last dino in the deck is the new card from Age of Overlord, Link 3, Trancenosaurus Exoraptor. I actually really like this card. With 3000 attack, if this card is special summoned, you can special summon any dino from your hand. Also, if a dino monster this card points to is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard, you can draw a card. Plus, like the other Trancenosaurus cards, if it is destroyed, you can shuffle back a normal dino from your graveyard into the deck, special summon this card, letting you kind of put it in the middle so you can have monsters pointing to its link arrows, letting you get that draw effect. Now for the last monsters in the extra deck, I play one copy of Linkuriboh, one copy of SacredCards, and one copy of Pentastag. Linkuriboh can tribute itself when a monster declares an attack to make its attack become 0. Also, if it's in the graveyard, you can tribute a level 1 monster to special summon this card. This is good for linking off your copy of Animador and Archosaur. SacredCards can be link summoned using your copy of Linkuriboh to get a non-dino type in the graveyard for a double evolution pill target. Also, you take no battle or effect damage this turn. Pentastag has the effect that if your linked monster attacks a defensive position monster, you can inflict piercing battle damage. Really good to get this pointed to your copy of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno to attack all monsters and inflict some big damage to your opponent's face-down monsters. Well, that is it for the deck profile. I really hope you all enjoyed it. And if there's anything you like or don't like, feel free to leave me a comment telling me what you think. Be sure to like the video if you did and subscribe for more content. Thank you for your support and enjoy the Sacred Cards. See you all in the next one. Happy holidays, everybody.